So, this will be the 8th attempt at making this video. I'm a little frustrated. I'm hurting a little bit. I'm going to push through it because I need this video to happen. And I bet I'm going to get going and good and something's going to happen again. So I'm just going to try to go quick. The cat is like all up on me right now, as you can see. Being all lovey and stuff. I'm holding her. I don't know how long it's going to last while I try to show you all these books, which is the topic of today. She's looking at me like, shut up. The topic for today is, what books would you recommend for, what books would I recommend for new witches or people who are interested in pagan spirituality? And this was asked on one of my Facebook groups, and I always answer with predominantly the same books. And this is what I recommend for anybody who's on a pagan path, whether you're going to be eclectic or whatever, just to get that good basis, general foundation. So the first ones, I'm just going to hold her until I get to a point where I can show you a book, because I don't have these. They're the ones that everybody pretty much reads when you first start, which is like Scott Cunningham, Living Wicca, or Guide for the Solitary Practitioner. Those are good. And then Raymond Buckland, The Big Blue Book. It's a good reference book, a really good informational book. It's got a lot of stuff in it. I don't have either one of those copies here. I've loaned them out, or I have turned them in because they're 101 and I read them when I first started, and they're not really relevant for me today, so I don't have those. The only Cunningham book that I do have is the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs, and it's I'm gonna try to lean with her. She'll probably jump. Looky there. Is this one? Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. She's sniffing it. Let me see if I can put her down. Here, come here. You're clawing at me like, no, mommy. Okay, you need to go. Come on. Good girl. Okay. And it's just herbs A through Z and their magical correspondences. So it's a good reference book. This next book is one that I absolutely recommend for anybody. It's Starhawk's A Spiral Dance. And this book will absolutely change your life. It changed mine. And it's one of those books that I go back to every year or so and reread it, and you find something new. And it's a great, great, great resource. I'll never get rid of this book. If I could only recommend one book out of this entire list, it would be this one. The next on my list is, sorry, I'm hurting. Pagan Spirituality, A Guide to Personal Transformation. And this is by Joyce and River Higginbotham. And this is just a really good foundational, how you progress through pagan spirituality. And there's like journal entries that you can do, questions to discuss. Let me see if I can find a question in here that they ask. What view of energy and energy work were you raised with? What do you believe about it now? How do you define energy? So it's got like just a bunch of really interesting little things that you can do, journal things. I cannot words. I have tried this video so much, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is a really good book. Another book just for the history of where witchcraft and paganism and all that stuff came from, and how you got to where we are now. This is Drawing Down the Moon by Margot Adler, and it's a big honking book with just words, pretty much, predominantly. There are no exercises in any of this. It's more informational. It's got people's experiences in here, big names in witchcraft. It's just a really good background history. Yeah. Next are the Green Witchcraft series by Anne Mora. And my bad. And that's kind of what the titles look like. This is the second one because I've loaned out the first one. So the first one makes a list for like your first year and a day or your first year or whatever. This one is more of like your second year after you get a basics. So your first one is like the Book of Shadows. This one is light, balancing light and shadow. And one that I also recommend by the same author is Grimoire for the Green Witch, the Complete Book of Shadows. Obviously you'll see that I've got little sections marked because I like the way that she words things. Her some of the things that she says is very evocative. I love this book. I recommend this one a whole lot. Another one that I recommend is this thing. This is the Ultimate Book of Shadows for the Solitary Witch by Silver Ravenwolf. And this is another big honking book. And it's got, I mean, everything in it that you can think of. This is a good reference book. There's not many people that I know that follow a pagan spirituality or a witchcraft based path that do not have this book in their library. And there's another book that's really interesting, and it's called Dedicant by Thuri Khalifa. Yeah, Thuri Calafia. Thuri, however I'm pronouncing your name wrong, you know I'm butchering it, I'm sorry. But this is really good because you can jump, it's like you jump on the wheel of the year and you can start it anywhere. So it's got like the January lessons, July, May, all in order. So you read the beginning, all through the basics, and then you jump on whatever month that you're on and you read through it and then go back to the month that you're on if you want to read it in a year. And then you read the end, and it's all about like the initiation afterwards. So this is a really good like follow along in a year and a day practice. This is Dedicant again, and it's really interesting. Okay. So with that being said, those are the ones that I recommend for like a basic 101 get your feet wet type of thing. Read everything though. Don't stop there. If it's something that is different, strikes your fancy, read it anyway. Going further, looking down at some books, there are some things that you can look at. And I recommend this pretty soon. And this is Psychic Shielding, or Psychic Shield. And this is how to become psychically streetwise. So it's all about obviously shielding and soul care and finding spiritual protectors. This is really good once you discover energy work and how to keep yourself healthy, overcome negative relationships. Like, this book's fantastic. Another one that I recommend soon after is Protection and Reversal Magics. So this is just another way to keep yourself safe. Figuring out how to send energy back to sender, if anybody's working against you, stuff like that. Reversal Magics. This is a great book. I love this book. Let's see. And there's some books in here that I'm going to recommend just because. I'm almost done, by the way. But this is just a small little like pocket-sized book, and it's called A Book of Pagan Prayer. And that's literally what it is. It's just a bunch of prayers for the pagan. So like you see all of these Christians and all this stuff that have prayers for everything. Well, this book has prayers and petitions and chants and anything that you can use, and it's amazing. I love this little book. Aidan McCoy is another one of the authors that I absolutely love. She wrote like Appalachian Magic, which I have a copy of, but it sells for ridiculously high amounts. This is called Advanced Witchcraft, and it's like a little bit further. It goes into level 2. Oh, there's the cat again. Like your basic foundation, and then level 2, and maybe even into like level 3, second, third year advanced witchcraft. So this teaches you like dark night of the soul, shadow working. This is really interesting. Something else that I also recommend It's just reading books that are not necessarily just witchy, but I actually have stories to them and stuff. So a book that I absolutely love, and I hadn't read it until this year, and we had a witches book club type thing that we do, and this is The Fifth Sacred Thing, also by Starhawk. And this book will change your life. Again, anything by Starhawk will change your life, but this book is like what would happen if the entire world was based on pagan Wiccan beliefs. Like, oh my goodness. I can't even stress how good the book. Read this book. It's so good. Another one that I recommend is Women Who Run with Wolves. And I use this book as like a divinationary type book. Like, okay, well, I really need to know today. Help me out. I'm having a rough time. Open it to a page and boom. Like something relevant in these 2 pages. This book is so good. It's Myths and Stories of the Wild Woman Archetype. So good. And then a book that I read really early on, and this is just like one of like your major Wiccan pagan neo whatever authors, Phyllis Curott, and this is like her journey. It's like her journey into finding her own path. So it's really good too. So it's just called Book of Shadows by Phyllis Curott. It's really good too. So there you have it. I hope that you all are having a good day. If you've got questions about any of these books, or you want to see the library, which has 100 more books just piled everywhere, I will show you those. If you want to know some other authors or some other books that I might recommend, just comment below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you agree with my decisions, if you disagree with them, if there's anything that you would add. Something that I would add is the Christopher Penczak Inner and Outer Temple of Witchcraft. Those are really good too. So see, like, things will come to me that I don't have in my library that I have read that I need to get back. Anyway, those are some others that I would add. So I know people are out there are going to be like, you need to add this. Yeah, I know I need to add Christopher Penczak. Added. But anyway, I hope you all are having a really good day. I want to try to go and sit or lay or something to where I'm not hurting anymore. But we got through this video after like the 18,000th time. So have a great day, night, evening, whatever you all are doing. Be safe. And as always, blessed be. And I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.